So yesterday was the first day of Jump Festa. It's like this big conference that has everything to do with the Shonen Jump magazine, and all of the series are there, and all of the authors give their little notes or whatever, and then there's like some trailers and other stuff going on. And yesterday they had the panels for My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen. Now for My Hero, not too much interesting stuff was said, I guess in relation to the future of the series, because we already know that it is ending, and I'll get more into that because it's going to tie into what we're talking about, obviously. But Gege, however, in the Jujutsu Kaisen panel had some really interesting things to say, and if you're terminally online like me, you already know what he said. I mean, I put it in the title of the video, but Gege said this: a Jujutsu Kaisen exhibition will be held. Jujutsu Kaisen is a digital manuscript, so strictly speaking, there is no such thing as original artwork. We thought a lot about what to do and decided to show the remaining manuscripts and drafts, as well as the work of assistants, which is usually hidden by the characters and bubbles, and many other things. My goal is to make visitors think, I could draw manga too. I hope you enjoy the show. Please look forward to it. But he also said this: this is probably the last Jump Fest during which Jujutsu Kaisen is being serialized. So that's like a pretty accurate translation, I guess. And it sounds exactly like how you think it sounds. Jujutsu Kaisen probably won't last another year, meaning like it's not going to make it to December 15th of 2024 or whenever the next Jump Fest is, around that time. And I'm going to say right now that that seems somewhat accurate to me, right? I assumed that we were in the end phase of the series once we saw Sukuna come back to his full form. However, let's break that down a little more, because mangakas tend to say stuff like this from time to time, and it usually doesn't pan out the way that they thought it would. Sometimes they like overestimate how much time they think that they have left or how much time they need. In fact, Gege himself has done this already. When he had that pretty famous interview, I think it was like 2 years ago, right? It was like 2021, when he had like Mekamaru standing in for him. He said that Jujutsu Kaisen only had about 2 years left at that time, right? Anybody else remember that? Meaning that it would have already been over by now. So yeah, that's already a sign that maybe he's overestimating or underestimating. And also Horikoshi, the guy who made My Hero Academia, at last year's Jump Festa, he said that My Hero only had 1 year left. And it has now been 1 year since he said that, and it's still not over. Now granted, it is in its last stretch of chapters for sure. It probably only has like 10, maybe even less chapters than that left. But still, that's going to take like 2 or 3 months to get done, meaning it'll probably wrap up around March or April, or maybe he wants to line it up with the premiere of season 7, which I think is coming out in May. That was also revealed. I don't want to get your hopes up on that. I would say it's probably going to end, February, March maybe. But that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if the same goes for Gege here with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, he says probably. So I don't think he's trying to make any like clear definitive statements here, like it is absolutely going to end in 2024, guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does last the entirety of 2024 and then just spills over a little into 2025 the way that My Hero has. I doubt that Shonen Jump is like pressuring him to end the series. They're probably telling him like, hey, bro, there's no rush. If you need a little extra time, it's fine. Go ahead. Let's keep Jujutsu Kaisen in serialization as long as we can, because it's one of the driving forces of this magazine for sure. And they know that My Hero is ending, like we just talked about. So if My Hero ends and Jujutsu Kaisen end, they just lost 2 of their biggest series. Meaning that the only thing that they really have selling the Shonen Jump issues right now is One Piece. Also, speaking of One Piece, they didn't have a panel yesterday, but since it's like a 2-day event, they're going to have it today. So if Oda says anything interesting or worthwhile, I'll make a video about that too, if you are interested in One Piece. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts the entirety of 2024, to be honest. And I'm just trying to be a little optimistic, but not delusional, if that makes sense. Yes, I do make content on Jujutsu Kaisen, especially like the topical stuff with the chapters and the spoilers. So it is kind of important to me, but it's not like I need this series to keep me as a creator. It's like, it's fine, guys. Like, the content will always be there. You can always make content on a series regardless of if it's ongoing or not. And also, you know, there's going to be new series that replace it eventually. I don't know about how soon that will happen, but hey, but real quick, guys, Gamer Subs just restocked their Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Energy flavor. So now you can get yours in case you missed the first drop, which sold out rather quickly, and it comes in both caffeinated and non-caffeinated versions. And it has a nice raspberry tea flavor to it, which I'm a big fan of. I grew up on that stuff around the corner stores where I lived. And also, it's just like a nice collector's item to have as well. I mean, I know that I'm going to keep my canisters. And also, make sure you use code BIGZ at checkout for 10% off. I'll also have the link in the description. Thanks, guys. As for what is left to happen in Jujutsu Kaisen, like what Gege is going to have transpire in the next year, well, I mean, we have to wrap up the Sukuna fight. I guess that's going to take a while. There's also like a few big reveals that need to happen, like with Yuji, all of that stuff. I mean, that doesn't really need like a long time. That could just happen in one chapter for all we know. But we also need to see the resolution with all of the other fights, because there's a whole bunch of other characters here currently, like in the Calling game, that still need to do stuff. And then of course the whole big Kenjaku reveal and his big plan coming to fruition, you know, fusing the people of Japan with Tengen and becoming that big curse monstrosity thing. And then the end of the Culling game itself and resolution of all of the characters in the story, like, yeah, that'd take about a year. With the breaks that Gege is going to go on, which also need to be accounted for, you know, in the time span that it's going to take to get these chapters out. So in 2023, Gege was able to get out about like 35 chapters, 36, I think, something like that. So it's very possible that he could do the same in 2024, and then those 36 or so chapters just comprise the rest of the series. I think that seems about right at this point. So yeah, let's just enjoy it while it lasts, guys, because it's kind of uncommon that series like this come around, you know? I mean, granted, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen only came out like, I think 5 years ago. That's actually a relatively quick run for a very popular Jump series. But now it just seems more common that they're ending sooner than later. You know, I don't think we're gonna get a lot of Bleach and Naruto, you know, 600 plus chapter series coming out anytime soon. Even My Hero is only going a little past 400 at this point. But let me know what you think about this in the comments, and if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.